Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Only Leeds Bros. Seems like an age since we were on. We're going to do a little season review at the moment of the first 9 games. Obviously, with it being international break, there's not much way of content going on out there. But we'll say hello to Dillo first. Dillo, what's happening? How are you keeping?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all. I love that little jingle at the start of that video. It just puts you in a good mood, doesn't it?
Ding,
What I
ding.
think, yeah.
It's always just stuck in my head now. What's happening anyway? Any news?
Not laying low. Busy at work. It's just, the whole life stops and football stops, doesn't it, really?
Oh, no, yeah. And it seems like an age since Leeds played, isn't it? Like, it just seems like a mile away.
I just hate these international breaks, but then at the same time, I'm delighted that we had one. The players definitely needed it, you know what I mean? But now I'm kind of like, right, lads, you had your rest. Let's go, come on.
And it's still like next Friday. It's not even like tomorrow Friday. We still have like.
Why did you say it like that? Why did you say it like that?
Still have a whole week left in work. Like,
but that means
absolutely dreading it.
Off work next Friday on a plane straight to Leeds.
And come here, it just shows our international team are playing right now. Don't even know the score. We're just doing a live stream about Leeds. It shows how much we care about international football.
Not one bit. Not one bit. I'd rather watch paint dry, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah. Guys, look, on a serious note, before we do get into the video, we obviously have to touch on the sad news that was released yesterday and across all social media. It was the sad passing of George Bulldog at the age of 31. I always remember him that season when Sheffield United picked Leeds to promotion, and he was class for them. And obviously he's been at Sheffield United, I think, since 2012 or something. He's been with them a very long time and only moved from there, mate. But yeah, really sad circumstances to hear that he passed away last night. And obviously I think it kind of shook the whole kind of footballing world, especially at the young age of 21. So the thoughts go out to everyone at Sheffield United and obviously his family at this sad time. Dillo, wanna kind of jump in with your own little bit on that?
Yeah, just seeing it on social media. I actually heard it on the radio going to work this morning. It's very, it's just every few days or weeks, someone constantly keeps passing away, whether it's in the football world or someone
no age at all, isn't it? 31 and young kids and all as well. Absolutely, absolutely gut wrenching. Do you know what I mean? But hopefully now, obviously, Sheffield United next Friday and. Hopefully both clubs come together. We definitely know Leeds will do something for them. So even if it's before the start of the game, can you hear them fireworks going on?
Yeah, I can actually.
Hopefully the club kind of come together, both Leeds and Sheffield United, and if they stop saying the second minute and doing applause or just do something, give them the send off he deserves. But that'll be good on Ellen Road next Friday to give him the send off that he deserves, and hopefully Jayden Bogle. I know Jayden Bogle seem to be very close to him, so hopefully he's okay as well. So yeah, not great news, but yeah, look at thoughts about George Bulldog's family and anyone connected with Sheffield United and the footballing world that's kind of after being rocked by this. But anyway, we'll get into it. Yeah, as I said, not much by way of content going on out there at the moment. Very, very quiet. But we did get a little bit of news today that Leeds are potentially in the free market, which I didn't think we do. I don't know if you thought yourself, Dylan. I thought kind of the man the Farke is, and the little bit he kind of touched in his press conference or post-match conference when he said that he wouldn't kind of be dipping into the free market or the loan market. Well, obviously we can't with the loan market, but the free market, obviously when we hear that Ampadu was out, we know obviously he grew up, but he's obviously had a change of heart, and Czech Kanate is a name that's kind of being rumoured that it's close to being done, and it's one that I actually think would be a very shrewd signing if we could get it done. We've obviously seen him play. He was at West Ham, really, really good at West Ham, scored a couple of goals for them, big lad as well, 6'2", can help us out on set pieces, scoring, attacking, and can also play that midfield role, defensive midfield role, and also in centre back. So for me, it's an absolute no-brainer, isn't it? Because it's someone kind of like Ampadu, obviously two totally different players, but two players that can play that position of midfield and defensive midfield and centre half. So what would your thoughts be on Czech Kanate?
Yeah, like I'm more just, maybe it's just me being scared of it, to be honest with you. Going back to what Fark said, is he going to be up to speed, sitting out for a long time, or is he going to be fit enough, coming in, not late in the season, but you know what I mean, kind of early stages still, but it's just, it's a risky game to play. But look, they're obviously looking in the right direction. It's obviously something that they're clearly interested in a month ago. So look, it's positivity. Obviously we need players, and we can't wait till January to do that. So, if we get someone in now after 2-3 weeks, maybe he'll be up to speed, or so in a way, it's positive. I want to keep it that way. As I said, I'm going back to what Fark said a few press conferences ago about it after the Gruev injury. But look, only time will tell, and hopefully we'll see very soon.
Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer for me. Look, he obviously has a lot of experience. He's 34 years of age, and kind of some people will obviously have their gripes about that. But I think kind of taking the football and side out of it, we need a kind of all our experience head in that dressing room. Big time. Obviously,
Yeah,
we've lost the likes of Aylan, Cooper, Dallas. There's a lot of experienced players that have left the club over the last season or so. And look, they need to be replaced as much as kind of Ampadu was a leader, but we know he's injured now. You still need someone in that dressing room. Even the likes of Aylan, when Farker first came in, and obviously Aylan was kind of just getting the charity minutes. Aylan was still the one in the dressing room when you heard kind of behind the background that he was the one kind of still leading the dressing room. Him and Cooper last season not playing much, but he was still the captain, still leading the dressing room. And that's what I think Kanate would bring to the squad. A wealth of experience, has played a host of Premier League games. He's obviously really good at West Ham, had a good stint at Palace, and then for us last season he didn't really play much, and then obviously was released from his contract. But for me, it's an absolute no-brainer with the situation Leeds are in, kind of being light in the middle of the park, light in the centre half positions. They're bringing a body that could cover that. I think it's an absolute no-brainer because,
yeah.
God forbid, if we do get another injury, you're relying on two young lads in the Boyo and Charlie Crew to come in and try and do that job there. And for me, I just think it's smart to kind of bring in someone there that has that little bit of cover, do you know what I mean? And look, he definitely comes across as one of them lads that wouldn't be happy to kind of sit on the bench. So again, he's going to be pushing players, and that's what you
Yeah,
want. You don't want players to kind of rest on their laurels, do you know what I mean? And like that with FA Cup games and all coming up now as well, you're gonna have to rotate the squad. People kind of forget that as well, so we can kind of get in, dip in for them as well. So yeah, for me, it's an absolute no-brainer. I don't think his wages would be too much because obviously he's out of the game at the minute. He's not getting paid, so we need the
he'll
man on
take what
big
he's
wages.
given,
Yeah, he'll
more or
take what
less.
he's
Yeah,
given to kind of get back into it and want to prove himself. And look, at the age of 34, you're not going to be passing up opportunities like that to play for Leeds. I know it's the Championship, but exactly like it is a Championship, he's played at Premier League level, so he has to be more than good enough to play in the Championship like that, even in the dressing room, just to bring a host of experience to kind of calm them younger kind of heads around them. I think it's an absolute no-brainer. If you get him to the end of the season, do you know what I mean, on a pay-as-you-play contract or just to the end of the season contract, yeah, for me, it's a no-brainer. So hopefully we can get that one across the line.
it'll definitely tighten up the midfield. So that's, as you said, it is a no-brainer. As I said, I'm just more just a fear that kind of way. You know what I mean? Because it's just, as I said, it's the Leedsy way, and it's never going to be. It's going to be difficult as always for Leeds to get something across the line, or you know what I mean, get the injuries. Um, Not to have injuries, sorry, So,
Yeah,
but yeah, look, experience head, it'd be ideal. Just doubts in the back of my mind as usual because, as I said, it's the Leedsy way.
that's it, and that's the fear, God. Look, I think it'd be very, very unlikely if we can go
Yeah,
to January without getting either one of Rodon, Strike,
strike.
um, Tanaka or Rotwell injured. Look, all them four, if you're relying on them four not to get injured, it's a no-brainer. And not
Yeah,
even about not getting injured, just a little bit of rotation, tired legs. Like, again, the games are going to come thick and fast once we're back from the international break. Obviously, we've got Sheffield United on a Friday and then Watford on the Tuesday as well. So again, it's another quick turnaround. Tired body. Sometimes it's nice to kind of just pull a body in and out there. Do you know what I mean? And change up exactly like what he had taken Joseville, the 4-9 and putting Pirro on. Do you know what I mean? To kind of have that little rotation to change it up for me is a little no-brainer. So yeah, hopefully we do get it across the line. And I think it was Graham Smith said on X later on that they were kind of looking at a few. We did mention Czech Tanate, but there's a few on the list. So hopefully, even if we get another one in, do you know what I mean? It wouldn't be too bad. I know Kramer is out there as well, a World Cup player as well for Germany. So like that wouldn't be too bad as well. And again, I wouldn't imagine he's going to be too big wages or he's going to demand too big wages. Yeah. So for me to kind of give ourselves a bit of cover and that little safety net, for me, it's an absolute no-brainer. I'm sure Farker would have liked it to be closer to January where we could have hold on and then like that got someone in on loan or maybe someone on permanent to see what we could kind of do then. But look, it's needs must. You know what I mean? We can't rest on our laurels. We can't take the chance and in the hope that none of our players are going to get injured or tired bodies or stuff like that. So yeah, so for me, hopefully we get across the line sooner
yeah.
rather than later. But yeah, a couple of people reporting that it's almost done. So we get to a few in the chat. Amy Tolan says, "Evening, good evening, Amy." And then he says, England lucky to still be level. Keep us up to date with the scores, Danny, and the Republic of Ireland one as well, if you want. And he says, well, no, so low. Where I live, I'm obviously like just like little shed kind of man cave thing I got recently. But right behind me is this big farmer's field, and I think there's a lot of kids in the background, like literally right behind the wall, they're letting off fireworks. But look, we all did it as kids, and Danny said Hilly's already at top arch, but don't know how true this is. Yeah, hopefully it'd be nice. They get a little bit of news tomorrow, wouldn't it? Especially for us content creators to be able to kind of
I
jump
love
on.
Danny's little insight. He always just gives us that
He always
little,
knows me.
you know.
Morning, Dino. What's happening, bud? Yeah, so look, we'll get into it. Anyway, obviously, we're here for a season review of the first 9 games. If you want, we can obviously throw the Middlesbrough game in if you want to kind of bring up the heartache again.
And the player ratings as well, we'll have to get into as well.
Yeah, we'll obviously, we'll touch on all the players as well. Obviously, we don't want to be a little too harsh on them because obviously it's still early on in the season, but we'll obviously just have to go off these 9 games and obviously try and forget last season, or kind of what you think of players, and he's good, we'll just go off like based on their performance. So yeah, we'll kind of ask you, how do you think the season is going so far, obviously with everything, with obviously the transfer window, the madness of that ending, and then we were kind of straight into the season, starting with Portsmouth 3-all the first day of the season.
Well, I'm actually positive, very, very positive, optimistic as well about it, to be honest. Leeds have done, I think Leeds have done very well under the circumstances. New players, a new environment. And I know what I mean by that is the likes of the teams that came down from last season from the Premier League. So it's a completely different season as it was last season. I know people
it's a little rebuild with the players that we've lost and all as well, isn't it?
With the 90 points from last season, that's not the aim.
Yeah.
The aim is to go higher than that, if I'm being completely honest. And I think Farkas has definitely, he always brings it up in the press conference about the 90 points. So he's obviously passionate about that, which any man, 90 point trophy. But
I think they're aiming at me shed here now.
Bang.
It's literally right over the house.
No, but that's definitely where they need to be getting at is the 90 points mark. Overall, some players there that have kind of just, they've fallen behind a little bit, weren't as good as last season. But I like the positive side of it is we're taking away, we're getting points on the board. It's not stupid like losing, apart from Middlesbrough, where they just tore us apart on inside out. But I'm positive, and if I had to rate it out of 10, I'd probably give it, being a little bit harsh, probably an 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
You saying you're being harsh?
Yeah.
You're being generous.
Yeah, an 8 at that.
My kind of quick review of it, that's obviously a decent summary. To me, I think with 1 loss in 9 games, I don't think it's bad at all. And if you kind of said that to us at the start of the season, the first 9 games, you're only going to lose 1 match, we would have turned around and said, whoa. But I think it's always kind of hindsight, and when you look back at the game that we did lose against Burnley, the way we lost it, how we played, it still kind of stings me a little bit, and still kind of grinds me a little bit how we kind of didn't win that game, or even at least get a draw. Like if Solomon didn't slip, but again, look, we've kind of been over the Burnley game. But I think the start of the season, it actually hasn't been too bad, and it seems like an absolute age ago since the transfer window, and it seems like an age ago since Archie Gray was sold, and it was only in the last window. Do you know what I mean? It seems like it was nearly like years ago. Do you know what I mean? And it's not. It's still very recent, and it's a young lad with great talent that's been pulled out of the squad. Obviously, the player of the championship, Somerville, pulled out of the squad, and then obviously the Rutter one really, really hurt because obviously it was after the Middlesbrough game, 3-0 loss. Everyone was leaving Ellen Road, and then the news breaks of Jorginho Rutter leaving the club. And it was like the whole vibe and the whole bubble around Leeds United at that time was just pure negativity. And it's only when you look back at hindsight how Daniel Farke again has turned that. And I know kind of after Cardiff we were griping about the performance and how slow it was and X, Y, and Z. But when you actually kind of take yourself out and try and take your feelings out and look at it as a whole, the job that the lads have done, and especially the players that have came in, the likes of Bogle, Tanaka, Rotwell have all came in, they've all taken to us so well. And the job that Daniel Farke has done to do this little mini rebuild that we keep calling it, I don't think it's a bad start to the season whatsoever. Yeah, we're 5th. Look, if we had about Sunderland the other night, Melier doesn't make the mistake we're level on points with them going into the international break, and we're looking at this totally different.
Yeah.
But it's what they say. If you can, obviously them teams lower down the league, when you're playing them away from home, you want to beat them. But them teams in and around you, if you were going to their place, picking up a draw and you're beating them at home, do you know what I mean? You're well on your way to get yourself promoted. And I think the first 9 games, you were kind of saying 8. I'd kind of rate it about a 6. And that might, like, I'm digging the players out a little bit, but it's not. It's more so, I just think there's more to come. I don't think
there's definitely more
that this team, and that's not being harsh saying they've been shy and they've only been a 6. It's just, I think that they're still gelling together. And we kind of seen after the turn of the year when we went on the 13 game winning run, we were unbelievable. And that's when I kind of felt when the team kind of started gelling a little bit more, and the clean sheets and everything that we got, we were class. And I do think we will go on another one of them runs. But if you look at the start of the season that we had last season compared to this season, we're much better off. The football that we're playing, you can kind of see within the squad, Daniel Farke has already like kind of got his tactics across way we want to play. And it is, for me, like, it's starting to come together. I kind of feel that this kind of next batch of games that we have, starting from next Friday with Sheffield United, probably the next 5 or 6 is going to tell exactly where we are. I think Sheffield United is a massive game. That's what I said to yourself and Matty on the wrap up for Sunderland. I think Sheffield United is definitely going to be the biggest game of the season so far, especially being at home in our place Friday nights under the lights at Ellen Road. I just think that's going to be a tasty game, and if Leeds can go and take 3 points from that game, that really puts down a marker to the rest of the league, because you can kind of see even Sunderland's celebration, like they drew 2 over us, but they were going on like they won the league. Do you know what I mean? You could see the rest of the league, you know, all the comments on X going, oh, Leeds are falling apart again and blah. And I know Mellier's mistake, but we didn't fall apart, we drew. And if drawn with a team that's top of the league away from home to a last minute fluky goal is falling apart, well, then I'll take it every day of the week. Do you know what I mean? Like, to me, that's not falling apart whatsoever. And I think to some games we've been very unlucky in them, and I was kind of going back through the season, even the Portsmouth game. Mellier's performance was fairly poor, to be honest. Was one a shot straight at him that he should have saved, and it basically just went straight through him. But look, it's the first game of the season, they were trying to get back into it. That was just a freak one. Same as Cardiff, the 2-2 draw the season before that. It's always going to be bad in the first game of the season. Both sides just go for it because they've nothing to lose. You know, you can't really go off any barometer of how what team is playing or how they're going to set up or how they're going to play. So you just have to play your way. It can always be mental, that first game of the season. Then obviously Middlesbrough came around then as well. We got spanked in the cup, and I just think it was kind of everything that was going on with the club at the time, players being sold. But then it started to pick up. I really think it probably turned the draw against West Brom. We were all a little bit ago. We were very negative, but I think Daniel Farke really put a plaster on the bleeding. He kind of stemmed the flow of kind of negativity. We picked up the point and we started kind of get points on the board. Sheffield Wednesday away, I think, gave us a good little buzz. Great result away from home. We obviously seen the Poi fella falling over the Horden, and you can kind of feel the buzz kind of coming back into it. Then we had a little blip again against Burnley, and again a slip of the ball. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like a bad performance or another Middlesbrough where they thumped us in the league. You know, we were very unlucky not to take all 3 points that day. We just couldn't score. Their keeper James Trafford was just quality that day. Do you remember the saves that he was pulling off? It was really good. And then the goal, a terrible goal to kind of give away. And then Coventry, then the 3-0 win was class. So there has been kind of ups and downs and little blips here and there, but I think kind of steadily kind of through the season, now the season's gone, I'll probably give it a 6 out of 10. But I do think it's gonna start to come together hopefully now after the international.
Well, obviously, like these players, like the likes of Solomon and all, you know, like when they do come back from injury, like that's gonna give us that bit of boost as well, because you know you seen the way that Rowell and Tanaka stepped up. Like, to be fair to them, like they've done a good job. Like, I have to be completely honest. Like, considering Ampadu, you know, unbelievable player. Gruev as well, you know, he's been doing so well. For these lads to just come in and just go, right, look, now we need to step it up here. The way that they've been playing, you know, it's I have to be honest with you. But if we're going at the ratings of our players, I suppose.
We'll go for it. We can go through. We can kind of talk about individual players. Like you said, and kind of touch on Solomon a little bit. It looks like Solomon might be back after the international break. Obviously, he was announced in the Israel squad, and then we were all kind of fearing, look, is he going to go? Obviously, he sent you a message right away going, what are they doing? Like, he shouldn't be going there. That's just complete disrespect. But
I threw me phone across the place.
You know, it was just like, what is he doing? But look, thankfully he's staying. Obviously, hopefully we've Dan James back after the international break as well. So I'm really looking forward to hearing Daniel Farke's press conference next week to kind of let us know how everyone is, and if we have Solomon and James back, if we do, what a massive boost that is going into Friday night tonight's game, and I think we kind of need that little bit of kind of good news to kind of give us all a lift, and especially if we sign Kanate in that time as well, and we get Dan James and Solomon back, you're kind of looking at it a little bit differently. Do you know what I mean? I think we kind of need that. It's time that our luck kind of start turning now, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if you want to go through player ratings, no problem. We'll obviously try and look at it. It's not being harsh. We're not being hard. Look, at the end of the day, the Leeds United player.
I'm gonna be harsh.
What way we'll do it is we'll obviously speak about the keeper. We'll let you go first. You rate Meslier. I'll say mine, and then we'll go across the back line and we'll swap it each time. So, Meslier, if you want to elaborate on Meslier, how do you think his season's gone so far? And then obviously give your rating then out of 10.
So, look, I'll try be as quick as I can getting through this about Meslier. He's pulled off some like good saves. To be fair to him, I have to be honest. Like he's made good saves that keeper should make, if that makes sense. But then obviously the errors that he's making, and I'm not going into detail about that. So, long story short, I'll give him, and it's harsh, probably a 4.5. Because considering that the defence has been kind of solid, he hasn't really done it in that sense. So, I'm not giving him that because of the error at Sunderland. I'm giving him that because he hasn't really done anything. And his kicking is atrocious.
But, I agree. I wouldn't be for. I'm a little bit more lenient. I would have said a 5 out of 10. And
who's been generous?
I just think obviously me, you and Matt, you've obviously had a good conversation on Meslier on our Instagram. Sorry, what did you say?
Now who's being generous?
Yeah, no, I think a 5 out of 10. I think he definitely owes us after what he's done, and I think he knows that himself. At this international break, he has to take it to kind of get his head together and go.
Yeah, this redemption now.
I need to pull off a worldie, and like I said to you, Mike, Sheffield United next week, it's 1-0, last kick of the game, whether it's a penalty against us, a free kick outside the box, or a 1-on-1. If Meslier says it pulls us off and wins us 3 points, and when we all hold them and go, right, you won us them 3 points, that's it, you're back on the good side. I just think at the moment he just doesn't breed confidence to me, and it's what we've touched on before, is that your goalkeeper should breed confidence. He should be that kind of commanding the last line defence, and I don't really get that from Meslier. We call him the ice man, and he's cool, calm and collected. For me, he's anything but. He's very flappy on corners. When there's a penalty against us, I say there's no point of him even being a goal, because even his attempt, and I know goalkeepers, I think he said it wasn't an 8% chance or something of a goalkeeper saving a penalty or something ridiculous like that, and I understand that you can never kind of expect the goalkeeper to save a penalty, but obviously against Norwich it just looks so bad. It looked like a Sunday League goalkeeper didn't at the attempt to try and save it, where if he actually had went to his right and possibly stuck out his legs, he could have saved it. So for me, Meslier just hasn't breathed confidence at all, and we've obviously touched on it as well, that over the last 3 years I just haven't seen any growth in him, any progression, and to be honest with you, I've just seen a decline in Elan Meslier. He has got it in him to pull off some worldly saves, but he also has it in him to pull off some howlers as well. And I think it's getting to that stage, and I don't like it getting to that stage, but it's getting to where he's starting to divide opinion between fans. A lot like Patrick Bamford, and that's not what your goalkeeper should be. Your goalkeeper should be the air of confidence, last line defence, and pulling everyone around, telling them where they should be. And I just don't get that from Eli Meslier. Like that from corners, punching them just sometimes where he can get the fist on him and he clears it, but there's other times it's very flappy and I'll drop out to the box and then it's kind of up to our defenders to kind of pick it up. So yeah, for me, Meslier is probably a 5 out of 10, and he really, really needs to kind of pull up his socks. We'll move on, because I think we could spend all night talking about
that shit.
We'll go to Junior Firpo. What do you think, Firpo?
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Not when he wasn't.
Come on.
No, he's
Come on.
Look, I love Firpo. It's kind of like you get 2 games out of him. We'll keep it short and sweet again. Get 2 or 3 good games out of him in a row, and then he'll just fall off the wagon. Is he playing too many games? Possibly. Is he carrying a knock, as Danny said a few weeks ago? It's possible as well. Gets up the wings, is very good. He's a good attacking wing back. That's the way that he plays. He can pull off a good few tackles. His pass in itself, he's been phenomenal, and I'm delighted. Like he's been getting assists, and then obviously he scored as well. So that's good. So I'm gonna give him over 9 games. Probably give him a 7.
Yeah, I would have said the same. Room to improve. I think the reason why he kind of lost a few points to me was Norwich away.
Yeah.
he gave me, like what we said, he gave
Yeah.
me Junior Firpo Premier League vibes against
Yeah.
Norwich.
Yeah.
He was not a Cardiff when we won. I don't know what way it kind of came across in the telly, but me in the stadium, Firpo was very frustrating that match for me against Cardiff. That was Ramazani's debut. Obviously, he scored on it, but the runs Ramazani was making in behind, and the way he was arching his run to go down the wing, and Firpo could see him, and he just put his foot on it and turned back and played him. So it was
Yeah.
very kind of frustrating. But I think that could be coming down to the manager. That I'd say that's tactics. You know what I mean? Kind of keep the ball possession. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would have said same thing for me. Firpo 7 out of 10. He's assisting, which is class. Hopefully he keeps it up. And then you obviously got his goal, but there's definitely room for improvement in him. But for me, he's still a solid left back at this level. Like what you said, I think there probably was a little tired legs against Norwich. I think you could probably see that in him, especially now he's off with Dominican Republic. He's doing a good bit of travelling as well. So, and he doesn't really have anyone pushing him for that left back spot. I know you've kind of Sam Boyer there, but is Boyer really gonna force him enough to kind of take his spot again? I don't really think so. Do you know what I mean? So. Yeah, for me, Firpo has been solid, a good 7 out of 10. Can't kind of complain with that. So, yeah, for me, I think he's been solid. So we'll go on to right back, Jayden Bogle. What do you think?
He's first few games, obviously, it took him a while. Like new surroundings, new club, new fans, new everything. And then going back to what you said when we did sign him, imagine the stick that he got off the Sheffield United fans. But I really seen his potential against Sheffield Wednesday. I thought he done well on that one. I didn't say not unbelievable, but I did see the potential from it. He's getting up to pitch a lot higher. He gets caught out sometimes, where Rodon kind of has to come and do the cleaning up for him. But rating wise, I'd probably give him a 7 as well, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I've been obviously at the start when he came in. Portsmouth game over there, I thought he was really, really poor against Portsmouth. I thought it was
You were giving him
horrendous.
stick.
And it's like Dylan, remember I was going into the stadium, I cannot wait to see Jayden Bogle and Junior Firpo today. I was thinking like flying wing backs, like Roberto Carlos Cafe vibes. That's what I was thinking, going to tell him. Like, you have the blinkers on, you know what I mean? It's pre-season, you're buzzing for Leeds.
It was the
It
point.
was just like,
It was
these
the
two
point.
are going to, it probably was the point. I was like, these two are going to be unbelievable. And then I remember when the two of us were in the cop and you could see Firpo and Bogle just like minding each other at right back.
Yeah,
And I looked at
hold
you and I
hands.
was just like, what is going on here?
Crazy.
He was horrendous against Portsmouth. And I just don't think he kind of hit the ground running when he first came in. I was obviously very critical of him. Don't think he did great at all. And then for me, I thought he done well against Sheffield United, but I think probably going there after being Sheffield Wednesday, being an ex-Sheffield United man, he probably went there, do you know what I mean, kind of known he was going to get a bit of stick off their fans. Hit a good game against Sheffield United. But for me, the turning point, I thought was Cardiff away. I obviously said it to you. He didn't really kind of stand out until but it was just the runs he was making, the option he was, and I was just like, whoa, this is a different side to Bogle that I've seen. He's actually surprisingly very, very quick. I didn't think he's actually as quick as what he as what he is, but he is actually kind of very quick, especially across 10 yards. And my mind kind of started changing after Cardiff, and then he definitely started pulling up his socks. He was really good against Coventry as well. He obviously got his goal that day, which definitely helped him to kind of settle down to the fans, and you could kind of see the relief on his face. He was running to the cop that he kind of got the goal.
He's more confident.
Goals breed confidence, whether you're a defender, striker, midfielder, whatever it may be. And he's definitely grown into it. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10, and that might seem a little bit harsh, and that's not kind of digging him out again. I just think there's a lot more to give from Jayden Bogle. Haven't watched him for Sheffield United and haven't watched him in the Premier League. He was in a poor Sheffield United team, but a really, really good player. He can definitely scrub on in this defence, but going forward, I think he can give us a little bit more. Hopefully, now coming back after the international break, hopefully he can start kind of chipping in with a few assists like Firpo, getting the odd goal here or there, because look, that's what you want from your fullbacks. But I just think there's more to come from Jayden Bogle, and I think now he's kind of starting to kind of settle in, get to know his teammates, obviously probably getting to know the area of Leeds and that, and just kind of starting to settle in. When it just takes time to settle into a new job, and I think he's doing things, settling very well. It might seem harsh at 6 out of 10, but it's not digging him out saying that he's being poor. I just think he's progressing, and he will towards the end of the season hopefully be up around the kind of 8.5, 9 mark. That's obviously what you want from your fullbacks. So we'll go into the centre halves then. We'll touch on, here we go, a strike. El Captain at the minute. How do you think strike fared so far?
So, like, he hasn't done anything drastically wrong. You know, going back to the Burnley goal, you know, Rodon and Strike were all over the place.
Mm.
If I'm being honest, you know, and then Bogle got a load of stick for coming across the pitch. Where I'm still saying now, I think he done the right thing there. If I'm being honest. But yeah, he hasn't done anything wrong, and he hasn't done anything magnificent either. So
I think for me, but I'm sorry for going across, but I think Strike is probably being our best player. Like apart from Nanto, I think Nanto obviously gets the headlines because he's the attacker player, he's going to score goals, and look at the attackers is always going to get it. But I think Strike has been absolutely solid for us at the back. A lot of times he's dug road on now. He's just been solid at the back. The odd game here or there, his passing was like a little bit of stray, but look, you can kind of deal with that. I think his reading of the game is very well, very good, and he's very calm and collected. I think on the ball.
Yeah,
you can kind of see he kind of calms everything down, and he is someone that breeds confidence for me. So yeah, for me, I think surprisingly, he goes a little bit unseen because he is a centre half and he doesn't kind
before
of flashy.
Before you say it, like it's as I said, it's not that he hasn't done anything wrong, he hasn't done anything right. He's just, as you said, calm.
He's just been solid, and I think an 8 out of 10.
Obviously,
the only probably bad thing about now, I forgot about, was the penalty missing at Cardiff. That was it. But look, again, like penalties. Again, their keeper done exactly what Melee should have done. He dived and threw his leg out and saved the ball. That's exactly what Melee should have done for the penalty at Norwich. But yeah, for me, I think Strike has been I'll give him a
7.5 just for missing the penalty.
Just for missing the penalty. Take a 5 off him. We'll get into a few comments before we move on to Joe Rodon. So Wilco White, Sean, what's the story, buddy? Sorry I couldn't come on tonight. Currently listening to you at work. Hope work isn't too bad. I know you're saying you're working night, so hope that is going okay for you, buddy. Lisa Clark says, hi lads. Hi Lisa, how are you keeping? Danny says Fairbow 7.5. Bogle 6.5. Pascal Strike 8. And then Matty from Imagine Up in Leeds. What's the story, Matty, buddy? How are you lads? Hope you're keeping well, Matty. Yeah, so moving on to Joe Rodon, the Welsh wizard. How do you think he's faring so far this season?
6. I'm sorry, he's just annoying me, lads. Just seeing the potential from last season. He's just...
I just got to sit back and watch this.
Yeah, watch this unfold completely. You know?
Yeah.
Why? This is going to go viral, lads.
Why?
He's just from last season, you know, he showed us that flair. And going back to what I said a couple of weeks ago, maybe it was that comfort at the back with Ampadu there and that kind of trust. And Ampadu showing him what to do and telling him what to do. Sorry.
Ampadu's the leader, isn't he?
Yeah, you know, and that's what he needs. I'm not being smart, it sounds kind of harsh. But Rodon, if you ever watch him, he's constantly kind of looking over the shoulder to make sure that like Strike is there. And he didn't do that last season with Ampadu. It was just kind of, maybe it's a Welsh thing that, look, they just played well together. They were solid, the two of them at the back. I have to agree. The only reason why I'm giving him a 6 is because he just looks so ropey. But then at the same time, the last game against Sunderland, I thought he done actually alright. So I'll change it. I'll give him a 6.5.
Yeah, I was going to say 6.5. I thought 6 was a little bit harsh, but I was going to give him 6.5. The reason being, I think his discipline hasn't been great this season.
Yeah. It was that tackle, that penalty.
Yeah, he's on 4 away. You know, he's on 4. He's 1 away from a suspension. I think, for me, if you ask like Joe Rodon, when you hear Joe Rodon, what do you think about? And I kind of hear like a command and kind of centre half, winning the ball force, getting the force kind of quick. Passing isn't great. Definitely needs to pick up on his passing. I think that's a side of the game that he really, really, if he's going to kind of make a step up to the Premier League, he really needs to tighten up on his decision making from the back. In regards to kind of his overall defending, I think it's probably like what you said. You've touched on Ampadu, but I think it's a lot to do with Archie Gray as well at right back. Archie Gray was a very kind of sitting right back, didn't get forward too much, didn't really offer us much going forward. Obviously a quality player, but didn't really offer us much going forward. Where Jayden Bogle, I think yourself or Matty said it last week, Jayden Bogle is obviously that flying wing back, likes to get forward, likes to join the attack, and it might leave Rodon a little bit exposed a bit, and he's probably just not used to that, where you kind of had Gray Do you know what I mean? Kind of sitting there.
So, yeah.
Kind of sitting there all the time. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, for me, I'd probably give Rodon a 6 out of 10. I was kind of expecting a little bit more, especially when we signed him. Look, I'm loving that he signed for us, and I think he's touched on it.
I
Again,
love Joe Rowe. I need to make that clear. I love.
I just want more from him. I want more from him now, especially now that Ampadu and Gruev, you know, that midfield kind of machine is out there now. I really, really want Rodon to step up. I think Strike is stepping up. You can see Strike is becoming a leader as the games are going on. But Joe Rodon, when you look at him like that, like the tattoos, the hard kind of man, the Welsh, I just wanted to kind of give him a bit more. I want him to kind of be pulling players around. It's like every time the camera swings to him, you see him, he's kind of like fixing his hair, and he's kind of like, kind of has like a mad face on, where you just like, you want him to be kind of like digging people out, going, you here, you there, do you know what I mean? Kind of being command. I like the way Pontus Janssen used to do, do you know, Janssen used to kind of come around. I'm not saying he has to be kind of that going around, kind of banging your chest and giving the lead salute to the fans. Like, he doesn't have to do that, but I just want him to kind of lead from the front. I want him to kind of start being a leader a little bit more. And I'm sure Daniel Farkas sees it as well. I'm sure he's been in his ear kind of saying, look, you need to kind of step up now. Something that he is very good at is kind of reading the game and getting to the ball first. And he obviously got caught in Sunderland, wasn't it? I think he mistimed his tackle, and he picked up then the 4th yellow card of the season. And I'm like, the Joe Rodon of last season was always kind of making them. And then again, from attacking corners, he's non-existent for a lad who's kind of big, strong, has a presence there. He's just non-existent from corner. So definitely room to improve for me for Joe Rodon. What did you say? 6.5?
I said 6.5.
I think 6.5 for him. Yeah. Thanks very much, Matty. Right, so we move into the centre of the park. We'll go Ampadu. Obviously, we know he's out injured now, but how did you think he was faring before he got his injury?
Seems like years ago since I've seen Ampadu, I'm being honest with you. Yeah, look, he's the natural captain, you know, and he's well able to take a hit, and he'll give as good as he gets, if that makes sense. Yeah, I love Ampadu. I think he's a phenomenal player.
Massive miss, Sydney.
It's sad to see, you know. Look, I've done it myself, and it's not pleasant, but he's getting professional treatment, so he'll be alright. But I will go with, from what I've seen of him, I'll probably give him an 8.
An 8, yeah. Yeah. I probably think a little bit generous, so I would have probably said about 7. 7 for Ampadu. And I don't think it seems like I'm not blaming any of the players here. I'm being kind of very positive, very lenient to all the players. I just think for Ampadu, obviously, he was playing that kind of defensive midfield role last season, but for a large part of last season, he was centre half with Joe Rodon, and I think kind of getting pushed back into midfield this season, it was kind of like, again, trying to relearn that role. And I think for me, you, or any kind of fans, just like, I should do it. He's a professional footballer. But again, it's retraining the brain and retraining the mind and retraining the body, you know, positions that you have to be in. And I think the reason why I'm kind of bringing this across is that, do you remember them first couple of games, probably the first 4 or 5 games, I was constantly banging the drum about Ampadu being too deep. And I just think that was just muscle memory. And what I mean by that is that his brain was trained to kind of drop back in. And he was doing it probably unknown to himself. And then it was eventually, then you could see him, he start getting kind of pushed up the park. It was a real problem. Ampadu was dropping well too deep, you know, in between the two centre halves.
It wasn't getting forward enough.
Yeah, he wasn't pushing up. He was like he was just sitting on the two centre halves, striking Rodon's lip for no reason at all.
We touched on that.
And being receiving the ball up a little bit higher. And I think that was just kind of him again, settling back into defensive midfielder. So yeah, I don't think he was too bad. Look at, obviously, the injury, I think it's a massive blow. I know Gruev is a blow that is out as well, but I just think your captain, Ampadu, and the positions he can obviously play the centre half, and basically I think if you put Ampadu in anywhere, he'd do a job for you. He's a born leader in this squad, and no doubt he's in the dressing room now still, you know, throwing out orders. I'd definitely go 7 out of 10, and it's just a pity that we haven't gotten for this season. Hopefully he can get back soon as, and he kind of gets the best of treatment and looks after himself and does his rehab in the right way, and hopefully when he does come back, hopefully he can hit the ground running.
Yeah, definitely. Moving
on to Gruev then, obviously another one of our bad injuries. How do you think he's been getting on?
He's produced well in the last few games. Kind of at the start of the season, he was kind of wrecking me head a little bit. But
jeez, don't hold back.
No, rating him, you know, look, he done very well before he got injured. He was doing very well. you know, he's a lot different to kind of what we seen last year, and maybe that's because Ampadu's in the middle of him now.
That's it.
And I know I keep saying
being forced. He was forced into doing that kind of 8 role, wasn't he, to try and get
yeah,
forward.
it's kind of like
we'd seen more
anyone,
shots out of him against Cardiff than what we did the whole of last season. Like, he was
yeah,
again kind of
anyone
square
that
pegs and round
seems
holes.
to play with Ampadu, kind of he gives them that kind of lift or shows them the right way or gives them that kind of positivity.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, he hasn't done nothing wrong when I wish him a speedy recovery. So I'll give him an 8 as well, to be fair.
Yeah, I think an 8. I think an 8 for Gruev. I think he's a massive miss. I think Ampadu's a bigger miss, but I think Gruev kind of started the season a little bit better than Ampadu. He was really, really trying. He was busy. His passing was good. There's times he kind of dwells on it a little bit. But I just think the two of them as a pair, they really, really complement each other. And we don't give up much shots or much chances with the two of them in the middle of the park, and we've seen that already. And the prime example of it is when the two of them aren't there for against Sunderland. Joe Bellingham was getting so much space in that.
Lucky he had that shield boots on.
Yeah, and I think like that, if Gruev and Ampadu had been in there, he wouldn't have been getting the time and the space to get the shots off as what he was. So that probably might be a little bit of a concern going forward with Tanaka and Rotwell. We have to see how kind of them two fare. But again, the flip side of it is, if you're kind of looking at both sides of the fence, well, Rotwell and Tanaka are giving us that little bit kind of going forward. Rotwell's popping off shots, he's moving the ball quicker, where, you know, Gruev and Ampadu wasn't really giving as much as Gruev was getting forward. He never really kind of looked like he was going to get one, did he? So I think Rotwell's due one. Love to get one against Sheffield United, please God. But yeah, so we'll move on to Tanaka and Rotwell anyway real quick, just because now they're in the squad. Obviously we haven't seen much of them. They've only played one game together, kind of part pieces, but we'll kind of try and rate them as best we can. Obviously,
I'm going to just rate them on the performance at such, if that makes sense, not a season review as such as what I'm giving the other players. Tanaka, I like the way he receives the ball, looks up before he even receives it, it's gone. Or he's moving it more fluent. So I would probably give Tanaka, just based on the performance, that when he started, probably 7.5. Just on that performance.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that anyway. Obviously, we haven't seen much of Tanaka, and it's a little bit unfair. Kind of what we have seen, and we're obviously gonna see a lot more of them. So this could either go one way or another. We could look back in this video going, Dylan, what you talking about? I'm sure you know. Yeah, I think Tanaka has been good, and obviously we're all kind of delighted to see him in. His song is deadly as well. Love his chant. Yeah, I'd probably go 6.5, and that might seem again like a little bit harsh, but I just don't think we've seen enough from him. A little bit like Jaden Bogle. I think there's more to come from. That's not kind of digging him out or anything like that. Again, I think he's going to grow into this role. I think we'll definitely see the best of Tanaka over these coming weeks. Hopefully, again, he's away on international duty with Japan. He's a lot of travelling to do. I think he's only back something like 48 hours before the Sheffield United game. He's only had one training session, which is
typical.
It's absolutely horrendous that's the way it is. But yeah, look, hopefully Tanaka can find his feet again. I think him and Joe Rotwell complement each other really, really good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more of Tanaka as it goes on, and obviously he can kind of build up his match fitness and that. So move on to Joe Rotwell. Obviously we've been fairly happy with Joe Rotwell. Well, I have been anyway. I think for kind of what I've seen of him. I thought it was really, really good against Sunderland. His tempo on the ball is it's everything that.
That's when you keep saying tempo, it just immediately in my head I keep thinking that man is so quick, but it's not. It's just he looks so natural, if that makes sense. It's
he just gets it and moves it very, very quick. And I think again, it's someone that I'm delighted for. And you kind of, I don't know what it is when you look at him, you kind of think he's a lot older than what he is, but he still is only 29. I mean, there still is a bit of football from yet to playing his career, and he definitely has a part to play for Leeds United now this season now with the injuries. And he obviously did. I think he did an interview with Sky Sports for the Sunderland game, and he kind of backed himself, turned around and said, yeah, it's my turn. Look, injuries are part and parcel of the game. He hopes the lads are back soon, but this is my chance now to step in. And I loved hearing that from him. It was like he's backing himself, and he definitely seems that he comes across like that in his performances for me. As I keep saying, I just love that type of midfielder that gets the ball and moves quick. See, Kamara was a good player last season, but see that kind of very slow drab play, you know, going back side to side. I just can't do that. It just drives me mad. Where I love that with Rotwell, he gets the ball and he already knows exactly where it's going. His first touch is positive, it's turned out and it's gone. It's gone so quick, and I absolutely love that. And Matthias Klick used to be very like that. Do you remember he was very progressive with his passing? He was that link between the midfield and the attack, and that's what I kind of want from Joe Rotwell. So again, another player that I'm buzzing to see the next couple of games. Really hope he has a good game against Sheffield United. He's going to have a tough task in the middle of the park, but I really hope he gets a goal soon, because I think that will kind of get.
He's definitely due one.
Yeah. I don't
you know, especially with having shots outside the box.
And he's having a pop on set piece. I think he could be a threat from set pieces. I do think he might be good on corners. He might be good on free kicks as well. So keep an eye out for that one. I think he'd be really good set piece tag for that. And it's something that we haven't really had for a long time. If you kind of look back, obviously remember Barry Douglas kind of coming in. He was a really good set piece taker, and probably Robert Snodgrass is maybe the last time we had a good set piece taker from that. So well, Rafinha was class as well. Free kicks he used to score. So hopefully Rotwell can kind of give us a little bit as well from set pieces, corners, and free kicks and that going forward.
Well, I'm interested to hear your rating. Go
on. I'm gonna give him 7.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
I'm gonna give him 7. Not like. Yeah, I don't think he can be too harsh on Rotwell with everything he's going to be asked to do. Bit like Tanaka. I don't think he can be too harsh. He's being kind of thrown in the deep end, but like I said, he's backing himself. He's banging his chest and saying, "Yeah, look, this is my time, and that's what you want." He's not shying away from me. He wants the ball. He's not hiding, and like that against Sunderland, he was always showing for. Always wants the ball. Always wants to receive it. So yeah, for me, yeah, I'll give him a 7, and again, more to see from him. Right, have you given? Yeah, you said 7. Yeah,
I'm agreeing with you. 7, definitely.
Right, move on to the wingers. We'll go right wing. We'll go Willie Nonto. Let you take it away with Willie.
He's so good at kind of producing something. He's been quick off the mark. He hasn't been as high-headed as I thought he would be. He's still being a bit moany towards the ref and you know, his cheeky smile, as you would say, when he looks at the camera, but he hasn't been that kind of childish. He's matured a little bit. That's what I think. Anyway, that's what
seems like he's grown up a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Like he's after kind of grown up a little bit. Obviously,
and then
I think we thought that his career, Leeds United, was over to start last season when he obviously put in the transfer request, refused to play, and like if you had a turn around to Leeds fans back then and said this time next season, someone will be gone and he'll be your main player, one of your main players, if not your main player, we would have turned around and said absolutely no way at all. He won't be accepted back. And I think Nonto, especially Norwich, I thought he was class. Really good against Norwich. Very unlucky that one off the post. Could have changed the game again, and that's just fine margin. Do you remember the edge of the box where it seemed like it was like a kid in the park playing with Norwich just couldn't get near him. They just couldn't take the ball off him, and the shot on his left foot off the post. So unlucky. Lucky if it had went in, it would have been a great finish. So yeah, I think Nonto again, he's up there with Shoy. For me, I'm probably gonna go 8.5. I think he's been our best player. So yeah, I think he's been our best player.
I was gonna say Sam.
I think he's been our best player so far.
I just like the way that he's definitely matured as a player and as a person. And then you know he did put something up on, I think it was Instagram, and some of the comments saying, "Now it's your time to kind of take the mantle from me. This is going to be your season." So look, yeah, he's definitely been our best player, and I love watching him. And I'm just delighted now that he's not kind of retaliating and getting stupid bookings as much as he did last year. You know, so
the petulance.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I give it 8.5. Yeah,
8.5. Yeah,
there's definitely more goals in him.
We go to Ramazani. What are you thinking of Ramazani at the minute?
Yeah, loving him, to be honest with you. I think he's quick, isn't
exciting.
He? Exciting very exciting to watch. Yeah, definitely.
Player, yeah. He's given me this is. Don't go on. Sorry, go on. Go ahead.
He's real baby face kind of looking, you know, but he's just a young lad, and you can see the desire in it that he, you know, he wants to be here and he wants to make the fans fall in love with him, you know, and it's going to be a long season. You know, he scored on his debut. That's what any fans want or any player wants, you know, or even the board for signing a crucial new player. So yeah, I'm happy with him. I'd probably give him was 7.5, 8 maybe, in and around that.
Oh yeah,
Margin.
yeah. I would have said 7.5, 8, and well, I just think Ramazani, he's that player. He's that player to
Yeah.
kind of get you excited on the edge of your seat, isn't he?
You're on the edge of your seat even talking about it.
Yeah, I love that type of player. I love watching
Yeah.
them quick, nippy kind of
Yeah.
wingers. And he's obviously being brought in, and he's constantly being compared to the Somerville replacement, the Somerville. But for me, and when I say it, I hope this like comes across, but he's kind of giving
Yeah.
me Rafinha kind of vibes.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what it is about him, but it's kind of like he's giving me Rafinha vibes. I think it's
Yeah.
the strap wrist, the quick kind of play for him, and he's very, very quick. He's absolutely rapid. I'd love to see him and Dan James in a proper race, because I'd say that'd be cracking. Well, one will probably pull the hamstring, but
Okay. I still think Dan James is smoking. That's fast kid alive.
I think he's 2 goals and 1 assist so far. I think there's a lot more to come from Ramazani. He's adapted to English football, and especially the Championship, the physicality of it. He's adapted to it very, very well, and yeah, I'd probably be going anywhere 7.5, 8. There's definitely a lot more to come for him.
There's more to come.
Again, hopefully Sheffield United, he does put in another good performance. But yeah, I think he's absolute quality. It's like Nanto. He's the edge of the seat player, that flair kind of player. Do you know what I mean? That he does everything good, can kind of pull one out of the bag, and he's rapid. So yeah, I think Ramazani's class. What a signing that has turned out to be, and hopefully he can stay fit, and hopefully he can give us a little bit more. Moving on to probably a controversial one, probably one of the big ones. LB Aaronson, our American boy. What have you thought of Aaronson so far? His redemption arc, his redemption story.
Well, what was the target I said for him?
Oh, I think you said 40 goals or something.
40 goals. That's definitely not.
Nah, I think you were messing. You were saying you said 25 goals, but I said 25 GNA. I don't think he's not going to get to that, but I don't think it's been a bad start back to his career at Leeds United, and I think he's doing really, really well. Like John, he's doing himself all the favours, doing the right things. He's working hard. I think it would have been even better if he got that winner the opening day of the season against Portsmouth.
They would have given that bit more
I do
life.
think Sheffield Wednesday. Sorry, he was class against Sheffield Wednesday. Let's hope he can score against Sheffield United. But Sheffield Wednesday was class. Lovely finish Sheffield United. And I think he's been good. A little bit kind of missing against.
He just disappears. You don't even recognise him on the pitch. That's what I've noticed with him. I'll be honest. I'll probably give him probably a 7.
Yeah,
if I'm being honest. It's just like he scored a goal, and this time there that he was just looked great off the mark. If I'd have kept that performance up, I'd probably give him a higher rating. At the minute, it's a 7. I'm not giving him 7.
It's class to see though. Look, I know we're rating them, and I would have said 7.5 as well for Aronson. But what I'm loving about it at the minute is that he's proven the fans wrong. And like keep saying what Angus Kinnear said in his Square Ball podcast. If we had assigned him this summer as our number 10, we'd all be delighted with it. It's the fact of it's the previous and everything that's kind of came behind it. It's gone along last season, and that at the end of the day, look, I think we still ended up signing for 25 million in the Premier League. So yeah, look, we're right where we're coming from. But I really think Aronson is going to improve, and I think Farke is definitely mounted out. You can see he is definitely 100% putting on the muscle. You can see his physicality is there. He's definitely not gone. There's times here there you can still kind of get pushed off it a little bit, but Jesus, was not expecting that one. I thought after England against Ireland, I thought England were definitely.
Well, if Greece are beating England, Ireland are really bad, aren't they?
Yeah. I'll actually check it. Go on, I'll let you kind of continue, Aronson. I'll check see how Ireland are getting on.
Aronson is, look, 7.5. I'm being honest with you.
Ireland are one down. No surprise there.
Why did you even bother?
Yeah. No, horrendous. Well, much better at the rugby.
Yeah. Anyway, Aronson 7.5. He's a lot to go, but he's been positive so far, so we'll give him that. Are we going with Bamford, or are we going with Joseph, or are we going with Pirlo?
I think we'll probably stay away from Bamford because he hasn't given us anywhere.
So we'll finish with Pirlo and Joseph.
Yeah, we'll go Pirlo and Joseph. We haven't seen much of James. we can obviously touch on. I don't think again over 9 games. I don't think you can really kind of give him a fair rating. With James, the only thing I kind of think back on the season was his lovely finish against Sheffield Wednesday. Remember the little dink of the goalkeeper was class. His little flick around the corner. Again, it was not a big blow. Him being injured. Hopefully, he's back after the international break. Yeah, I think it's kind of hard to rate them. Solomon.
Yeah, I don't think we will there, because
yeah,
it's just kind of
it's hard.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be hard.
It's hard to kind of rate them. They haven't played enough, and then.
But that's why I gave the Tanaka 7.
If anyone else in chat, think of anyone else that would have kind of played a fair amount of games that should get a rating, we'll do it. But yeah, probably moving on. Go on, Joseph. I'll let you. This is kind of your mantle, the striker. The strikers. Let's hear it. What are you thinking of Joseph?
I think he's been so good off the ball. You know, his press is. He got a bit bullied there against Norwich, Shane Duffy. You know, if I'm being honest with you, but his press has been brilliant. He's been making runs. He's been holding up the play. You know, overall, I just wish he'd score more goals. You know, and you know, he's still such a young lad.
The only thing missing, isn't it?
He's still such a young lad, and it's there. The potential's there, and I genuinely think he's going to score a good few goals. I think he's going to be definitely in our top 3 players this season.
Yeah.
So solely, I would give him. I'll probably give him an 8, if I'm being honest.
Oh, Jesus, that's high, yeah.
Yeah, considering he hasn't scored goals, but he needs. Like as I said, it's his off the ball movement.
It's class. It's pressing. Yeah,
it's just, you know, and it's given Ramazani and Nanto and even Aronson or whoever's playing in them positions to come up higher up the field at this score and, you know, produce some. Going back to what you said about Ampadu, even Ampadu when he was uninjured, how high he was coming up the pitch, so he wasn't sitting back on top of it. You know, it just seemed a lot more real, and I think that's based on Joseph, if I'm being honest with you. He's just constantly dragging players out.
I really like Joseph. I love watching him play, and I think he gives a lot more to us than what Pirro does. Obviously, we'll kind of get on to Pirro, but I'm going to go Joseph for 7.5 out of 10. It would be a little bit higher. He has missed a couple of big chances for us as well.
Yeah.
That could easily be at 8.5.
I think I'm just being too generous, to be honest with you.
Be one of our best players. I'm going to go 7.5. He has missed a couple of big chances for us, 100% that he should have scored. And going back to the Burnley one, the first minute of the game, where he has to be scoring. He has to be scoring when he's 1-on-1 with the keeper. He doesn't even hit the target. It's miles wide.
Yeah.
Really, really bad miss. But even at that, some of his chances, he's snatching at a lot. I mean, a lot of them he's kind of blazing over the bar and that. So, yeah, I think, I'll go 7.5 out of 10. I do think there's a lot more come from. I really, really hope he goes through a purple patch, a little bit kind of like what going back to Bamford, like what Bamford did last season.
Yeah,
I hope he can go through a purple patch for us and kind of get a few goals and kind of kickstart his confidence. Obviously, his goal against Hull, lovely finish. His run to the front post was class. I just think he's going to be a top class player. I really do think he's still very young, and for what he's outputting as a 19-year-old kid, I think it's class. And his finishes starts come with that. It's sad to say, but I don't think he'll be at Leeds United for long. I think he's in the Spain under-21 squad, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets on there. Hopefully he bags a couple of goals. But yeah, I really, really like Mateo Joseph. So yeah, I'm going to go 7.5 out of 10. And with the hope, hopefully we see more from him now after the international break and coming into the new year. Hopefully we get a bit more out of him.
Please God. So we're going to go with this one, are we? Do you want 7 for Joseph? All right, fair enough. Yeah. I'll let you start this one off.
With Joel.
Good old Joel.
Pirro, I absolutely love him. He's by far the best finisher at the football club. By far, for me, and there might be like a few opinions against it, but I think Joel Pirro is the best finisher in the division. Again, I go back to that game against Cardiff. That finish from that angle, the power he got on it, was just an absolute quality finish. I think he's 4 goals. He's a top goal scorer so far this season. And when you look at that like that, 4 goals in 9 games, it's not bad at all, is it? It's not bad at all. It's just where Joel Pirro fits into our kind of general all-round play. And this is probably a little bit wild and probably a little bit kind of off topic, but I was only thinking about Joel Pirro the other day, and he reminds me a little bit of kind of the situation. Do you remember like Origi at Liverpool?
Yeah.
Remember they kind of had the front three: Salah, Mane, and Firmino. Firmino was just so good, but didn't score goals, and that's kind of like what Joseph does. But Origi used to kind of always kind of come on and get the important goals, and
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? He'd come off the bench and like be kind of like a super sub kind of thing. So yeah, I just want us to get the best out of Joe Pirro. I really, really do want Daniel Farke to get the best out of Joe Pirro. I thought he was good against Sunderland. If we can find a way to get Joe Pirro in the team and get him further up the pitch, finishing the chances, like what me and Matty said, actually finishing the chances rather than being the one trying to start him and create him in that number 10 role. He's just not a number 10.
Doesn't suit him.
He's too rigid, he's too slow, he turns like a bus, he's not good for that. He's the fox in the box. You give him a chance in that box, he's scoring goals, he's absolutely quality. So for me, Pirro is yeah, I think we just need to get him into the squad. If there was a way of trying to get him and Joseph up front together as a two, I think it would be absolutely class. But then you're kind of missing out on a winger, and then Aronson there as well. So yeah, for me, I'm interested to see next Friday what the team lineup is going to be. I think it probably is going to be. I think it probably is going to be Pirro, and I've no groups for that, because if you've got Joe Pirro starting, and you've got a young lad like Matteo Joseph coming on when the defence is wore down, do you know what I mean? That's not that's a really, really good option to have, or vice versa if you're going to start with Joseph. Pirro has been doing it off the bench anyway, so do you know what I mean? We kind of have, it's a luxury that we have, isn't it? When you look across our squad and the options that we have, I know we're hampered with injuries at the minute, but when you look across our squad, the players that we have, the options that we have, yeah, I think it's class. We're really good, and that's not even touching on Patrick Bamford. Obviously, look, if he can somehow get some sort of, I think there was an article there just before we went live. I seen that Patrick Bamford wanted to leave last year. I'm going to give it a read after this. He said that he wanted to leave. I don't know kind of what's kind of the context of it, what kind of is his thoughts behind it, but I definitely have to give that one a read. But for me, yeah, Patrick Bamford is just, he's way down the pecking order now, and it's kind of what we've all been kind of screaming out for. Joseph and Pirro seem to be kind of our strikers. But rating Pirro,
this will be good. I love the way you kept that Pirro number 3 up on.
Yeah, just to give you a bit of stick. I'm gonna go 7.5 with Pirro. And that might seem a little bit harsh, but just because he's hasn't really been playing much. He's coming off the bench as an impact sub when the game is kind of like that 10-15 minutes, you know what I mean? They're tired. He's a great finisher, but he hasn't really played much. Obviously, Sunderland was the first game that he started, and again, I thought he was good. If you ask me this time next week about Joe Pirro, that might go to an 8.5 if he puts in another performance like what he did against Sheffield United, what he did against Sunderland. That might go up, but yeah, I'm gonna go 7.5 for Pirro. What do you think? You're fanboy.
Are you ready for this, Danny?
I'm just gonna I'll let you have a chat and I'll smash through a couple of comments, right?
Yeah, go ahead. Gives a smile.
Go on.
Get the goals on Pirro. Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing some Pirro
mate.
goals, and that's what we said. If you can combine the two of them together, you're making the ultimate player. But then like that, you're not keeping them at Leeds United. Then 7.5 and 8, but prefer Joseph. But goals are goals. Yeah, exactly. Goals win your games. Not,
I love you, matey. I love you.
Not your whole to play. Origi, you're a Liverpool fan in the chat, loving Leeds content. For minutes he's played, Pirro's been smashing, to be honest. And and I think that's what you said for the minutes that he's played, he's been class. My 8, that's very generous.
When you hear mine, Danny, if you think that's generous.
Dylan's going 11 out of 10. He's not playing full. Yeah, and that's kind of what I've been getting at. That he actually hasn't been playing full games. That's kind of where I'm come from. His numbers is absolutely sick for 4 goals in 9 games, and not having. I'd love to know what his ratio is, goals per game is. If anyone can dig that up in the chat, that'd be absolute class. He's the winner. He's never come off the bench and saved us. He will, though, Danny. He will. He's a fox in the box. He will. He will, Danny. Believe in him. Right, come on, everyone. Drop what you're doing. Let's hear what Dillo has to say about Joel Pirro.
Good night. I'll see you all tomorrow. Right, lads. These aren't going to be ready for this. Right? I have to give this man an 8.5. I have to be honest. This man, lads, come on. You know, he's top goal scorer. Right, he's not doing a whole lot. Like, it's the team overall. Here we go. The team overall is what's producing the outcome. You know, but he's scoring goals. Like, it's the same with Nando.
Yeah.
Like, he's not doing a whole lot in the sense of producing something or getting the play going. Yeah, get me around with him, No, I'm giving him an 8.5, and I don't give a.
Even in Scooby, thanks for joining.
I don't care what stick I'm getting. I'm giving the man 8.5. If he's not keeping 9, I'll give him a 9. yeah.
I think this is all gonna come back to boys, Matty and Danny. I think Dylan's gonna have. Oh, he's coming with the book. He's coming together.
Like when he scored, right? On that messing, I just imagined myself just laughing at Danny, laughing at Matty, and laughing at you. And I'm telling you now, he's gonna score against Sheffield United.
I think Pirro's gonna be a top goal scorer this season.
Yeah, I tell you, he's definitely gonna score against Sheffield United.
Yeah. I think he's going to be a top goal scorer soon. I want to see Nanto get a good few. I want to see Nanto get into double figures, but I just think Joe Pirro, if he keeps up the ratio that he's at the minute, like he's absolutely flying. And yeah. I think Pirro's going to be a top goal scorer.
But like, I have to, like, as I said, he's not that he's. I will next Friday. Come around with me and introduce him.
Who sang that song? Be like, she should have put a ring on it. Who sang that?
Beyonce. That's me and Pirro's song.
That's you and Pirro's wedding song, is it?
Yeah, can't wait to see that one.
Pirro fanboy.
Look, yeah, I get where the stick comes from. I'm basing his performance solely on what you said about finishing, and he's scoring them. The chances are there. He's putting them in. I'm not being smart, lads, but who else is? Who else is doing that bar him? So I'll laugh at me all you want. You know, I don't really mind. Yeah, no. And I told you already, posters all over this room with Pirro.
Right, we'll go last. Might be controversial. Let's kind of get everyone's opinion in the chat as well. Let's go, Daniel Farke. You aren't expecting this one, but what would you have rated Daniel Farke so far at the minute in regards to his subs, his team selection? Let's go. What do you think, Daniel Farke? This could be controversial.
We'll let the boys go first, or do you want me to talk?
Yeah, no, we'll let the boys throw it into the chat.
All right, lads, you just go ahead.
No, you go. Go on. Give us Daniel Farke. What have you thought of Daniel Farke so far?
I was going to sing a background song while we were waiting.
Yeah.
No.
Look at this from Sean from Wilco Whites. Absolutely top class stats, that is. That's class. Nice one for that, Sean. Thanks very much for sticking out in the chat.
Sean, thank you. You had to save me there. That's just shut them all up.
Hopefully we'll have you on soon enough, Sean. Good to see you. Lads, if you don't know, Sean from Wilco Whites has set up a page as well. So head across to Wilco Whites, lads. Hit subscribe on that. Really, really nice guy. Knows his stuff. Seems to be putting out daily videos on news and stuff like that. So pop across and have a look at Sean. Really, really nice guy. And hopefully we'll get him on the channel soon enough so you can all kind of meet him over here at Only Leeds Bros. Sorry, Dale. Yeah, go on about Daniel Farke.
He is. And that kind of annoys me about Daniel Farke is the 70-minute course I keep calling it. You know, when you're sitting there watching the game, 20 minutes gone by, you know, half time comes, you're just saying, like, the game is dead if it's goalless. You're saying, really, we have to wait to 70th minute in order to bring a player to try and impact the game.
Yeah.
That's kind of, you know, look, I know he sticks to his goal. He doesn't change it until the last minute. But, like, going back to there, I can't remember what game it was. Remember when he just, like, cheered, like, 5 players on for the crack? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's craziness. But, look, I'm not going to be negative. I'll be positive. He's done good.
Yeah.
I'll probably give him. Am I going based on players he's brought in as well, or just overall and on the season so far?
Just himself, the season so far, first 9 games. It's not probably, as in like you're. It's not like you're saying kind of like Farke out or anything like that. But
no. I'm for him 100%. I'll probably give him a 7.5.
7.5. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be too far off that. I I think he's had a really, really hard job on his hands again this season, losing a lot of his players. He's obviously came out and said as well about not getting a number 10. I think we all kind of felt that as fans that we needed a number 10 as well. And Daniel Farke was obviously echoing kind of what we were saying. I do think at times his football, and it's definitely orchestrated by him, is very risk averse. So it's very much keep the ball first. His foundations there are very kind of solid. Don't give up any kind of chances, and then try and take ours when you get them. Definitely relies very, very heavily on individual quality and individual brilliance. But look, we have that in the squad, so we can do that. And look, he's a proven manager at this level. We've said it, and we're banging the same drum. He's won this league twice. He's got a Norwich side with a very, very low budget out of this division twice. Yeah, he's got relegated, but was never backed in the Premier League. And we all kind of know when you get to the Premier League, you need to be backed. I think based over like the first kind of 9 games of Daniel Farke is kind of again with the summer we've kind of had and not getting a number 10 and that, I'd probably go 7.5 for him. And the reason why he won back a little bit of points for me, he probably, before the Sunderland game, I probably would have said a 6, but I'm going to give him a 7.5 because he got the Joe Pirro one spot on. When the lineup came out with Joe Pirro starting, I was scratching my head going, what is he doing? What is he doing? Like, there's no way Sunderland away from home, we're not going to get the press. They're just going to bypass our strikers, much to like what happened when he brought them on, when he brought Pirro and Bamford on. Who did he bring them on against? And we whipped them off. I think it was Norwich, was it? No, it was Norwich. Norwich, yeah. Norwich. It was Norwich, yeah. He whipped Ramazani onto off and put Pirro and Bamford on.
Oh, yes.
That was an absolute wild decision. Wild decision from Daniel Farke. And I think we could all
They can't play together.
Yeah, when he was bringing them on, I was like, you're bringing off 2 rapid, fast wingers. You're taking all the speed, all the tempo out of our lineup, and you're bringing on Bamford, who's barely played, and Joe Pirro, who plays at a snail's pace as it is anyway. So for me, some of his decisions like that, and like obviously we're not professionals and we're not like top class, and he obviously sees the players a lot more than what we do. So yeah, it might be a little bit harsh, but yeah, I'll probably go 7.5 out of 10. I think he's done a decent job. And I do think he's going to get us up this season. I really, really, really do. I don't see any kind of standout team. And I do think once Leeds kind of get the ball rolling, once the train starts moving with Leeds United and the players are settled in there and we kind of know what we have, I do think it's going to be a very, very hard train to stop. I'll let you kind of touch on them a little bit and then I'll just smash through a couple of the comments here now.
Yeah, I actually want to read a few of the comments. I have to agree with you, Farke 8.
So Danny says 8, yeah, not bad, yeah.
Okay,
I think we're all kind of around the same barometer. I think we all agree that Pirro has the flaws in the games, but he's doing more than he can. Yeah, 100% agree with that.
Thanks, mate.
He's got a point about job. I can't figure out if it's classy or wasteful. Who has poi on the wall?
I think he's talking about Pirro, me having him on the wall.
Alright. Alright, I wasn't sure what was going on there. Welcome boys, last year Bamford had a bad goal ratio. I think it's meant to be better goal ratio 90 minutes than Pirro did. Yeah. Right too, but I think Pirro could probably finish his dinner and Bamford couldn't. Many other games that Paddy playing the attacking midfield. Yeah, true. 100% true, Scooby. Yeah, agree with that one. No bother at all, Sean. Nice one, buddy. Maybe that's Pirro position always has been at Swansea. Not gonna lie, sick of this number 10 business. Personally, I think 10 is a striker along with a 9. I think we can play with attacking midfielder, but that's just me. Yeah, agree. Lampard attacking midfield like Beardsley, Bergkamp, number 10. Yeah, I take Bergkamp any day of the week. Yeah, I just think Pirro is just too rigid to play at number 10. I think the game kind of nowadays is a lot more flowy than it used to be years ago, especially with the likes of Bergkamp around the place. It's a lot more kind of technical. You want your kind of number 10 to be kind of treading them balls through, and I just don't think Joe Pirro being one of them players. Like when I think of a number 10, I'm very much of a kind of like a Buendia, Pablo Hernandez, that kind of type, silky kind of player, moves the ball quick and find the pass. I just don't really see that with Joe Pirro. When I think of Joe Pirro, I just think finisher, like
finishing, yeah. Oh no, I have to agree. And
that's
I can see Pirro. You see Ramazani or Londo sprinting up, or even Bogle, Firpo as well. Sorry, run up the wing. Pirro's at the edge of the box, penalty spot. Give or take, balls just passed in. It's going in the back of the net. Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to. I'm not saying Joseph can't do that. I'm just saying that's where the goals are going to happen. If the wing backs are getting up, or the wingers are getting up, or hopefully now the likes of the midfield, especially Rotwell, taking chances from outside of the box. I definitely want to see that this year. We need players having shots outside the box having a go. That's, you know.
So it's what me or Matty kind of hit the nail. Look, I think the season so far. Look, I do think we're going up, and that's. I don't think that's just sitting here with the Leeds United cap on. I do genuinely think we have the best squad in the division. We're probably up there with Burnley. Burnley have a decent squad as well. Sheffield United have a decent starting 11, but don't really have much kind of coming off the bench. I do think we have the best squad as a whole. I do think we're going to go up. I do think it's probably going to be a little bit of a push for the title between us and Sheffield United. I do think Burnley will be thereabouts. I think Sunderland are going to fall off, but I do think we're going to go up. I don't see a Sunderland. I don't see an Ipswich happening. Again, I could be completely wrong, but that's not kind of, having the blinkers or nothing on like that. I just don't see any kind of side in the division. I've been looking at the run of fixtures as well. After the international break, they're very, very favourable. We obviously have Watford who've fallen off a little bit. Then we've got Bristol City away. Very, very winnable game.
Yeah.
So I think the next tough one is Sheffield United. If we can get 3 points there, the next 5 games after that are very, very winnable. And after them next 5 games, you could be turned around and going, look at what we'll be all panicking for, top of the division. Hopefully we are. But they're very kind of favourable after. I do think we've kind of have a fairly tough start. When you look at it on paper, this you've got Portsmouth coming up, nothing to fear, first game of the season. You've Coventry, decent side. You've West Brom, we've had Sunderland as well. Also, we've had Burnley, and now we've got Sheffield United. So we're playing all these teams, you know what I mean, that are kind of in and around. Tough Norwich away at Craven Cottage as well. No, not Craven Cottage, Carrow Road. So it's been a tough start when you actually look at our fixtures on paper. Do you know what I mean? They haven't really been favourable, but now we are kind of starting to kind of come up against them, kind of mid-table. So it's where you kind of expect us to be the likes of the Bristol Cities, Watfords, teams like that we kind of should be beating. So for me, I'm confident. After the Burnley game, I was like, burn everything down, I'm done. Do you know what I mean? But that's just like, you know what I mean? That's just the way I've been, like, a Leeds United fan. But it's going like after a day or two, and then you're like, nah, it's not so bad. But I do, like, when you kind of strip everything away, I do think we'll go up. I think we're far the best side in this division on paper, best quality, players coming off the bench. I just don't think other teams have the luxury of that. I do still think in January we definitely need to kind of go strengthen, don't rest on our laurels, and I keep saying it, look what we did last year. I'm not going getting like Kiefer Moore, David Brooks. We need to kind of see what's in and around the market then, and definitely kind of strengthen to push us on a little bit more in January. But overall, yeah, I'm happy enough with the season so far. 1 loss in 9. If we can beat Sheffield United next week, 1 loss in 10. Do you know what I mean? Not a bad start to the season whatsoever.
It's not bad. Yeah, I have to agree.
Yeah.
I have to agree.
Right. I think that's fairly it. And else before we wrap it up, it's actually been a very long one. We were saying we're going for 20 minutes, half an hour. We're here for nearly an hour 20. Go away. And else before we
no, just thank you everyone for the continuing support.
It's been dry, obviously, at the minute, hasn't it? Like, there's not much by way of content going on at the minute.
Go check out Matty from Imagine Not Being Leeds and Sean from We'll Go Whites.
Yeah, Sean from We'll Go Whites, Matty from Imagine Not Being Leeds, and then we've Danny Talksport as well, who has his own bit of a channel. And anyone else in the chat who have their own kind of channel going, let us know, and we'll obviously give you a shout out. It actually reminds me, lads, I want to give a shout out to El Loco Gnome on Instagram, is where I got my Bielsa Gnome, if you see him there. El Bielsa watching me. He seen my picture that I put up on Instagram. I didn't know it was actually a present from my missus. I didn't know where she got it, but I put the picture up, remember, last week, and he said, please tag us in this, and I went onto his page. But go check out El Loco Gnome, lads. Really, really good stuff on there, reasonably priced as well. He's got the 92 midfield as well on there. He's got Mateus clicking out with the cigar saying the damned United at back. Luke Galen, Pablo Hernandez, really, really good stuff. So go on there and check it out, guys, if you're into kind of like your Leeds figures and stuff like that. Just wanted to give him a shout out because really, really nice guy. Yeah, guys, I think that's kind of fairly it from us. As I said, kind of fairly dry. We've managed to kind of drag this out for an hour and 20 with you were kind of helping the chat. But again, guys, thanks for all the support. We have got 147 subscribers at the minute, guys. Please, before you go off the video, slap a subscribe on it, guys. Get us to that 150 before the night is out. That would be absolutely class. Also smash the like button, and again, thanks for all your comments, and share with your friends or social media.
We're doing a giveaway as well. Don't forget about that.
Yeah, love the giveaway for the end of the month, guys, as well. Yeah, and yeah, we are going the end of the month, aren't we? Yeah, end of October.
And but we'll obviously get.
We'll be announcing it, but yeah. The end of October, so keep an eye out for that, guys. We've a bit of exciting news coming next week as well. We've teaming up with Matty from Imagine Not Being Leeds. Hope he doesn't mind me saying. So with big news coming out with that one, so keep an eye on that. We're actually really, really excited that we're teaming up. Matty, really, really great lad. We only met him last week and feels like we've been friends forever. So again, Matty, thanks for all your support. But yeah, I think that's it. That's it from us guys. Yeah,
That's it. I'm going to have a pint.
Me too. Definitely going to have a Guinness. I'm going off to a wedding tomorrow, so that should be a good one. So I'm going to have a couple of cans of Guinness and then an early night for me. Yeah, right, guys, that's it from us again. Hopefully we get back. Hopefully we get back.
Couple of cans of Guinness and an early night. 20 past 9 at night.
Couple of cans of Guinness. So why not? What else you be doing? I'll go watch the highlights from our brilliant international side. I should check what score it is now before we go off.
No,
if anyone is interested. What do you reckon? What score do you reckon?
4-0.
No, 1-1. Liam Scales got one back, and England and Greece are still 1-0 to Greece. Jesus, only 15 minutes left, so go catch the last 15 minutes of that. Guys, look again, thanks for popping in. Really appreciate everything. I don't think we've missed any comments. Let me try and smash any up before we go. We'll definitely wrap it up on this one.
I'm off them, Danny. Oh my God. I'm off them.
Right, guys, again, look, thanks very much. We will be back next week. When are we back, Dylan? When are we back? What day is it today?
I don't know.
Thursday today. Probably back. Well, we definitely be back next Thursday anyway with your match build up for Sheffield United. A few bits and bobs in between now and then. Might be across on Danny's channel. Imagine Not Being Leeds. So again, keep an eye out for all them bits and bobs. So yeah, we'll leave it at that, guys. Thanks a million again, and have a good evening. And we'll chat you all soon.